6.1 from question 6 says 12,000 was invested in a fund that paid interest at some amount which is m% per annum compounded quarterly. After 24 months, the value of the investment was 13,459. Determine the value of m. So this is the amount we started with. This will be our principal amount, and after 24 months the amount had risen to 13,459. So that's the A value. And if you can recognize, the formula that I'm forming is A is equals to P1 minus, since they say invested in a fund that pays interest compounded. If something is compounded, then the formula is 1 plus I to the power of n. Then we can make our substitutions, but first it's good to have an idea of what it is we're trying to solve for. So we are solving for m, which is basically the rate, and that would look something like, after 24 months we need to quantify our value. So we know the final amount that we have is 13,459. we know the principal amount that we start with, or that's the amount we end with. We start with 12,000, and we know n is the number of years, or in this case compounding terms, which is in 24 months compounded quarterly. That would be 24 months, that's 2 years. Quarterly, that's 4 times a year. So in 24 months, which is 2 years, there will be 8 compounding terms. And then our interest, lastly, we know that it's going to be divided by 4, and it's also being divided by 100, so we can just divide by 400 once, and that would be the rate that we're looking for. So we can, before we make the substitutions, we can make m subject to the formula. So here I'm going to divide by p on both sides to have 1 plus I to the power of n is equals to a over p. And then at this point it's quite difficult, but we can still do it. It's not difficult at all, actually, it's just unusual. Take the nth root, whatever n is, take the nth root. Here it will cancel. 1 plus I is equals to the nth root of a over p, and then you can just say I is equals to square root of a over p minus 1. And this is not square root. This is the only mistake that might arise from this, forgetting the signs. But I prefer to making what you want the subject of the formula before making any substitutions. Then here I can make m over 400. I know n is equals to 8, so this is the 8th root of the amounts. We have the value of the amounts, it's 13,459 all over 12,000, and that's minus 1. And then we can multiply whatever value we get by 400. That will give us 5.78% as our answer. So that's that.